Folks, welcome to the Red Hook Town Board meeting of August 28, 2019. Would you be kind enough to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, very good. Steve, for the folks at home, we have a very short meeting this evening. We're happy to report to you. Those are the items that will be discussed at tonight's meeting. We do have a second resolution, a very minor bit of business that'll go after the first resolution. But essentially we'll be awarding a bid for the rec park improvements on the west side of Linden Avenue this evening, and then going through our board and committee reports. Okay, very good. Thank you, Steve. Announcements, a few announcements to remind folks. Hardscrabble Day is just a short 3 weeks away or so. That's September 21st, and the featured act is John Waite. September 17th, which is the weekend after next, if you're watching this at home, that's Labor Day. Happy Labor Day. There are 3 events happening on September 7th. Team Nora and the county's Think Differently campaign are holding a joint event at Dell's Dairy Farm just up the road here at Route 9. That's from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. The Claremont Firehouse is actually holding a fundraiser for the Tivoli Fire Company to raise funds to help them rebuild the firehouse. That's September 7th as well. That's 1 p.m. with food starting at 3 p.m. at the Claremont Firehouse, Route 9G. Many folks have asked about the new development Tradition at Red Hook, which is over by the movie theater. They are holding an open house September 7th, and that is from 1 to 4 p.m. if you are interested in learning more about that development. The last announcement is here at Town Hall, Mondays from 5 to 7. There'll be community solar info sessions here. You can find out about community solar in general. You can find out about our project here, the Town and Village project, which by the way is doing very well. I understand it's about 2/3 sold out at this point. So that's Mondays here at Town Hall, 5 to 7 p.m. And that's all I have. Does anybody else have any announcements that I may have forgotten? No?
No.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know the exact date of the street painting in Tivoli. It's the end.
It's the following weekend. Thank you for reminding me. So that's September 28th.
29th.
And typically there's a rain date for that, which would be Sunday the 29th, Tivoli street painting. A very popular event. Thank you, Harry, for reminding me, and we'll bring it up again at our next meeting. Okay, public comment period. Would anybody like to make some public comments? Linda.
Linda Keeling, Red Hook. I want to thank you, Robert, for calling me today about the Greg Barn renovations. However, even though Steve is incapacitated at the moment, he had been noticed by me in last year during the fall about the problem with the building, and he didn't do anything. June, I had to write another letter, and with this, Bob Fennell's been getting copies of it, so he knows everything that's going on. I think to wait until October 1st is not a good thing. The people that I'm concerned about, the disabled, will not have the ability to use those facilities the way everyone else is. It's been too long now. This is going on almost a year. We need to get this solved by the next meeting.
Thank you, Linda. Anybody else like to make some public comments? Okay. If not, I think Sue, our town clerk, has some abstracts for tonight's meeting. Follow up to her financial report from the first meeting of the month. Sue?
These are abstracts. This one is from April 2019. It's voucher number 24719 through 24896. The total abstract, $432,940.32. And I certify that those numbers were processed in the month of April and they were approved for payment by the town board. Also have one for May 2019, voucher number 24897 through 25013 for a total abstract of $230,610.62. And I hereby certify that those vouchers were paid in the month of May and they were approved by the town board. Last abstract is for June of 2019, voucher number 25014 through 25134 for a total abstract of $470,246.09. And I certify that those voucher numbers were processed in June and they were approved for payment by the town board. And that's it.
Great, thank you very much, Sue. One other announcement I failed to mention, if folks are interested in, especially if you're a biker, Scenic Hudson is holding its annual Farmland Cycling Tour, and that is a tour that starts here in Red Hook, typically at Poets Walk, and here's this year's map that they forwarded to us. There's a couple different size rides that you can do, and the object of the bike tour is to show off many of the preserved farms along the route. Farms that in many cases they worked diligently to help protect. So that's September 28th, also the same day as the Tivoli street painting, and that starts at 8:30 in the morning. Okay, very good. We can jump right in on our first item, agenda item tonight, and that is a recommendation to award the bid for the recreational park improvements, phase one. That would be the west side of Linden Avenue. And we went out to bid and had a bunch of firms interested in the project. At the end of the day, only a couple submitted, but we did have a bid that we're very pleased with. It's not only competitive, but it's also from our local firm here, Fast Tracks, based here in Red Hook. And so you can see the recommendation memo from the engineers and the bid amount. There is a recommendation for them to award not only the base bid, but the alternates as well. With the exception of the prefabricated dugouts. They're recommending that we go ahead and customize the two dugouts for our own specs, that we could get a better product for the amount of money that was bid for that aspect of the job. So what we have is a resolution to award with all of those alternates with the exception of the dugouts. So my question to you is, do you have any questions about the information they provided to us?
No, it was really it was quite clear.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. All right. Well, this is resolution number 90 of 2019.
I so move.
Thank you, Bill. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion? It's resolution 90, authorizing the award of bid for Town of Red Hook Recreation Park Phase 1 West project. A sealed bid process being awarded to Fast Tracks Rentals of Red Hook, New York, in the amount of $410,000 plus alternates for a total figure of $500,310. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Very good, thank you very much. And we can move right on into our second resolution, which is something sort of last minute, and it relates to our CDG project, or Community Solar Project that I mentioned earlier. The PSC is taking comments now on the desire of municipalities to have consolidated billing in the case of projects like this, where the amount that you pay to the solar energy project would take place on the Central Hudson bill and only on the Central Hudson bill. And so this would make it easier for subscribers to projects such as ours now. And that's what we have prepared for us by our attorney, is a resolution in support of consolidating the billing onto one invoice.
So moved.
Second?
Any further discussion? It's resolution number 91. If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. Okay, we are moving right into board reports. So, let's see, Christine, we have 2 planning board reports here, both June and July. Would you like to summarize for the folks at home, please?
Sure. Okay. So in June, the planning board met just once, and they reviewed a project for a special use permit for a prefabricated garage on a parcel which is entirely within the flood fringe overlay zoning district. And so it's going to be a prefabricated building provided by Brad's Barnes from Kingston, and the board conducted its review. There were photos in the application. The flood fringe overlay district covers properties that are entirely within the floodplain. So there was particular attention dealt with how that would be handled within the project, and that will be coming back for further discussion. They also reviewed our referral for local law E of 2019, which was eliminating the light industrial zone district, the water extraction, soils remover, and timber harvesting law. So they had done the required review for that, LWRP consistencies, etc. And then the town board has dealt with that. This is only one page. Then in July, they met twice, at the July 1st and July 15th. And they reviewed an amended site plan for a project called LA Commons. And that is a multi-family development. And so there's a few things that had to be changed, like the driveway due to some DOT requirements, and a sidewalk angle, and so that made some of the landscaping angles have to be changed, and they're gonna install a backup generator and a few other things. So after the review, the board voted unanimously to grant conditional approval to the amended site plan. And that was on July 15th, and at previous meeting, July 1st, they had also discussed that project and asked for some more information on those items. There was a special use, also on the 15th, there was a special use permit for a 2-car detached garage less than 100 feet from a New York State wetland, and a minor site plan for the installation of medium-sized solar energy system at Mead Orchards. So the first one is they need a variance, so they're gonna go get the variance and come back. The second one, the solar array was approved to move forward. On July 1st, they also granted an extension request for the Preserve at Lakeskill project and the Schaefer's Hudson Valley project. And there was an addition to the agenda, which was Noah's Ark Antique Store. So there were some questions about the uses that were going on there as to whether they had been approved for the property, so that's going to be looked into further. And also an extension request for Rose Hill Farm, because they're waiting for Dutchess County Board of Health approvals for their project for water and septic. Also came up again was the Sawkill Dam removal project at Bard College. And there was no decision or anything. It has to do with the fact that the college has received a grant for educational purposes. This would be a demonstration project to better understand if dam removal would enhance the upward migration of eels. And the reason this particular site is such a good possibility for this grant and this project is because it's the same ownership on both sides. So that is the snag was that the State Historic Preservation Office and Hudson River Heritage are opposed to removing the dam. I imagine it's because they're seen as contributing features to the National Historic Landmark District. So that there's no decision made there.
Okay, thanks very much, Christine. All right, let's see, we don't have a zoning board report for some reason. Hopefully we'll have one at our next meeting. We do have some department reports. Bill, you want to jump in there and give Christine a break for a second? The police.
Police report. Well, the Red Hook Police Department investigated a total of 116 incidents during this past month's reporting period, which seems like a lot. Of that, they made a total of 7 arrests, and they issued 38 tickets. And if you look at the detail of things, it's interesting that one of the largest contributing number of incidents are animal complaints, way over a dozen of them. But anyway, the police department's been very busy and active, and that was their report.
Thank you very much, Bill. Christine, there's an assessor's report.
Okay, so the assessor's office continues to be busy with the enhanced STAR list that they have received from New York State, and they're making the final changes to process that. Our assessor has been meeting the requirement to take continuing education courses with 2 courses during this month. Let's see, one was on National USPAP and the other was on eminent domain. In the month of July, we had a total of 13 sales. In the town of Red Hook, there were 6 single family. For the village, there were 5 single families. And in the village of Red Hook rather, and in the village of Tivoli, there were 2 sales into the Tivoli Garden project. Highest sale price was $600,000 for a single family residence in the town of Red Hook. Lowest was $87,500 in the village of Tivoli. She is currently reviewing all sales for validity to transfer the list to New York State Office of Real Property. Also settled 2 SCAR applications,
small
I forget what that
claims
calls, there you go, small claims applications, and is working on the remaining Article 7 petitions. And our deputy assessor rather, has returned to work.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Christine. And with that level of sales, I think just in July alone, we're likely to break another annual high in sales transactions here in the township. All right, we have Harry. How about purchasing?
Purchasing, let's see, which one is it? Looks like he had yet another busy month. We had a total of purchase orders of just over 41,000. The largest was for the resurfacing of the roller to change its mission from a roller rink to a pickleball court. And that's underway as we speak. The town hall parking lot was sealed this past weekend, so you can find your favorite parking space there now. And they're all, are they numbered? They're not numbered.
Not
numbered, but they're well marked. We replaced our copiers. We have 2 large copiers. They aged out, and the lease expired, so we replaced them with new machines. And we have engaged with PCA, Professional Computer Associates, to provide the services for our computers.
you have a favorite parking spot, is that what we?
Yeah, is my name on it?
No, not yet, Harry. Okay,
Yeah.
very
I'll put
good.
it on with whitewash, so.
Okay. Christine, would you like to report on the monthly dog control report, please?
Sure, for July, there were 4 instances of activity. 3 were categorized as loose dog and related, and 1 as nuisance dog. That brings the total calls for the year so far to 16. The largest sector of those is loose dog and related at 12 out of the 16. There's a note here that for the received a complaint of dogs being harassed, and the owner of the dogs also contacted the police each time it happened, so that may contribute to the number of animal complaints you mentioned, Bill, on the police report.
Very good. I think as a reminder, Sue, we would want people to be sure to license their dogs, right? We've noticed that there's been a little drop off in people doing that.
That's correct.
Yeah,
When he reaches 4 months of age, they should be licensed.
4 months of age, okay. Very good, that's for your safety and everyone else's to license the dog. This way we know what's happening with a particular incident, should it occur, and what the status of the dog is. Okay, Harry, we have a water district report. Would you like to summarize that?
Yeah, the
Okay.
water district, I know I'll use an old phrase, it toodles along very well. There's all the measurements of the quality of the water are up to snuff and better. We have a few niggles here and there with the technology. I think one of the more interesting ones is we're working with the village to bring the interconnect pipe that hadn't been used since it was installed until about a year ago. We're trying to put that into service to be able to provide the village with pressure while they're doing work on their water system.
Very good. Well, what else do we have? Teresa, did you want to make a highway department report?
Not at this time.
Okay. Very good, I think. Committees, Bill, your intermunicipal task force?
Well, they met regular meetings in August and continued to discuss the zoning amendments proposed regarding regulation of Airbnbs and short-term rentals in the town of Red Hook, and that discussion continues.
Okay. Harry?
Which one?
It's John's usual very short
Really?
summary of recreation.
Well, I'll hit the important thing.
Please
His
do.
report on the summer rec program, it was very well attended this year. For the first time ever, we were able to hold camp every day that was scheduled. No weather cutbacks on it. We had out of the heavens came 100 backpacks and 100 pairs of sneakers for the kids, which were a donation from the Susie Rizal Foundation. Did I pronounce that right?
Rise up.
All right, so, and it was a big hit with the kids, so that they all went home with new important gear. And I understand that the shoes were red sneakers. Is that right?
Sneakers of all different kinds.
Oh, really?
And
Okay.
different sizes as well.
Okay. Anyway, it worked very well. So the camp went over great this summer, and then there are a lot of changes in the works for this upcoming winter.
Yeah,
Too lengthy
to go over them all.
Yeah. The pickleball courts should be ready to use in the near future. They're working on finalizing all the alterations to the skating rink for that purpose. It's underway as we speak.
Thanks, Harry. Yeah, it would be a good time to remind folks that there'll be a fair amount of construction happening in the rec park this fall, including a new basketball court, some work on the middle field to turn that into a multi-purpose ADA accessible field, and to install professional lighting there for that field, pathways, new fencing, to make it more accessible. And so we would ask for your patience as always, as the old expression is no pain, no gain. Hopefully it won't be too much pain, it'll be a lot of gain at the other end of the project. Okay, what else do we have, folks? Anything else? It could be a record. Well, we hope you've enjoyed your summer. We would once again remind you that if you'd like to find out more about what's going on with your government, to log on to www.redhook.org and click on Notify Me and just select whichever topics you're interested in. We can send you an email or a text about that topic and keep you as informed as possible. We also want to hear from you as well, so feel free to stop in the office or drop us a line or an email, and we'd be happy to hear what you have to say. On that note, it is a record this evening at 7:56. I would like to make a motion that we go into attorney-client. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you all very much. Thank you all for coming this evening. Stay dry out there.